Peace be with you, brother.
What troubles you?
Huh? Leave me be. I want to sleep.
Am I imagining it? No. There's something lying there.
Talk to me, brother.
Why would someone throw that away?
I found this piece of parchment. It looks like it's been ripped out of a book. Do you know what it is? There appears to be a page torn out of Ovid.
Ovid? What is that? Is it the name of a book?
Not what, but who? Ovid was a great Roman poet. We have a few volumes by him in the library, but one of them vanished one day. Now I believe I can guess what happened. Brother Eustace, may the earth rest lightly on him, was quite narrow-minded when it came to classical literature. If a book had any mention of woman at all, he condemned it as a heretical work. If he'd had his way, all such books would have been burned. Ovid's The Art of Love must have been such a thorn in his side that he stole it from the library, tore it up, and hid the pages wherever he could.
Oh, would you like me to put the book back together again?
Absolutely. Eustace's wits weren't the sharpest, so I'm sure he didn't destroy any of the pages. I imagine he hid them throughout the monastery. It might take you a while to find them all, but when you do, you can rest assured Ovid will return to his rightful place in the library.
Good. I'll look around for it.
Thank you, brother. It's of no great importance, but if you can find all 10 pages, I'll be most grateful.
Where should I look?
If I knew, I wouldn't have asked you to do it. The pages of the book could be hidden anywhere, from the garden to the refectory.
Can you tell me something about the book?
The Art of Love is a sort of manual instructing young people how to find and maintain love. It's a lovely work. I don't understand what bothered Eustace so much about it, but as I was saying, he considered the book to be immoral and tore it up to stop it corrupting any of his brothers.
Is it possible to learn something about the other novices in the library?
Only the abbot and the prior keep such records.
And can I see them?
No. The abbot writes and keeps his records in his chambers, and only he and the prior are permitted to read them.
This is not a good time for questions. Expounding the Lord's commandments in words to the intelligent among his disciples, but demonstrating the divine precepts by his actions for those of harder
Talk to me,
hearts
brother.
and ruder minds. The abbot should always remember what he is and what he
Can you
is,
tell me something about
and
yourself?
should know that to whom
I would if there was
more
anything noteworthy to say.
him more.
But I'm just the ordinary son of a landowner, now a monk. There's nothing in my past, present, or future that anyone could find interesting.
Why did you join the monastery?
Because it was better than living in poverty. As the youngest son, I'm not entitled to inherit my father's estate, but he was kind enough to sell off some cattle and send me here. And you know what? I'm glad to be here. It's better than mucking out manure.
The priest of Siloam. The well-disposed and those of good understanding, let him correct with verbal admonition the first and second time. But bold, hard, proud, and disobedient characters he should curb at the very beginning of their ill-doing by stripes and other bodily punishments. Knowing that it is written, the fool is not corrected with words. And again, beat your son with the rod, and you will deliver his soul from death. The rule of Saint Benedict, readings on the spirit of silence. Let us do what the prophet says. I said, I will guard my ways, that I may not sin with my tongue. I have set a guard to my mouth. I was mute and disciples, even though it be for good, holy, edifying.
Brother? What are you doing here? Shouldn't you be working somewhere? Idle hands are the devil's workshop.
I had other affairs that needed to be attended to immediately. It will never happen again.
Really? This time I'll look the other way. But next time you won't get out of being punished.
What do you desire, brother?
I'm here to work.
Excellent. I've been waiting for you. There's the alchemist's laboratory. You'll find ingredients in the chests next to it. Today's task, 2 cockerel potions. Once you finish them, you'll find me somewhere nearby. Don't forget to let me know when you're done so I can check them. Ah, Gregor, talk.
I finished my work.
Show me what you've made. Spectacular, Gregor. You've found your talent. Soon enough, you'll be teaching the other novices. Praise be to our Lord Jesus. Non sic in non sic Mother of God, what are you doing, you wretch?
Stop, Gregor! Brother? What are you doing here? Shouldn't you be...
I definitely was there. I did come a little late, so perhaps no one noticed me.
Really? Fine then. This... Brother? Stealing is a sin. You should know that as a Christian, and certainly as a monk. Even if...
Very well, brother. I accept my punishment.
Now, show me what you have on you. I must confiscate anything that is not allowed in the monastery.
While I was locked up, someone was making quite a racket in the cellar. Blind drunk, I'm sure of it. I wonder what's been going on.
You've seen us drinking here, so either join in or swear you won't tell a soul. You wouldn't want to end up like Lucas now, would you?
I don't want to drink. I'll leave you to it.
Off you go then. You can come back and join us any time. But if you say a word about what you've seen here, you'll regret it. Talk to me, brother.
What are you doing here?
What does it look like? Drinking.
But we're all monks.
Youngster, when you're as old as I, you'll understand.
But you're the cicators. You're the ones meant to be keeping order here. How can gambling and drinking be a fitting part of a monk's life?
If you really want to know, see for yourself.
All right, have it your way.
Ah, down the hatch.
Every gulp a treat, isn't that the truth?
No wonder. With our throats going dry all day.
Next time we'll get the Yodok to bring some Rhine wine. I'm losing my taste for this one.
Why doesn't Yodok drink with us, anyway?
He's young, and he wants to look good in front of the others. And he doesn't trust us to keep him safe from harm if he got too drunk to make it to prayer.
Gregor, talk to...
You mentioned Yodok. What does he do for you?
Nothing much. He's just a little suckling like you. He'll do whatever it takes to stay on our good side. Sometimes we make use of him when there are errands to run.
Where'd you get the wine from? I thought the monastery cellars were guarded.
So they are, but this wine isn't from the monastery. Listen, lad, would you help us out with something? This cask is almost empty, and we need a new one. We're a bit old for such exertions, but you, on the other hand...
I'll help you. What do I need to do?
Ha! I knew it. Help Novice Jodok arrange for a new cask. Talk to him first thing in the morning, and by tomorrow night the cask can be on the table.
All right, I'll talk to him.
I'd like to ask you something.
I'll be going, brothers. It's been good to sit with you a while.
Do us a favor, brother. Stay a little longer and have another drink with us. Here, some wine for you.
Thanks, but I won't have any more. I need my sleep.
As you wish, brother, as you wish. We'll be heading off soon ourselves. Ah, down the hatch.
Every gulp and shriek and the truth.
No wonder. Our throats going dry today. Next time.
What troubles you?
I was talking last night with the brother Cicators. It seems you're to fetch them a cask of wine. Like last time?
Well... yes. It's true.
I'd like to help you.
Would you really do it? To get hold of the wine, we'll have to leave the monastery for a bit. I know it's forbidden, but we've no other option. If wine started going missing here, someone would notice. But to leave the monastery, we need the keys. And only the prior has those.
Wait a moment. Are you saying I'm supposed to steal the prior's keys so I can go and steal wine somewhere else?
You see why I don't want to do it myself now, do you? I don't have what it takes. I can't get those keys, but you could. Or you might be able to pick the locks.
But you've done it once before, haven't you?
Last time the prior was sick, and he left the monastery keys in the Circator's care. So they unlocked the gates for me. This time we'll have to steal the keys.
How can I get hold of the keys, do you think?
I don't know, but it might be possible to do this without them. Brother Celerius, the cellar keeper, used to be a burglar. He knows his way around locks, and maybe could help us, if you could find a way to arrange it.
Do you think he'll want to take part in theft?
No, but he could give some advice, or maybe get some lockpicks to open the gate. You'll figure something out.
If you think so, I can try.
Once you have the key or some lockpicks, come and see me and we'll make our plan. What is it, brother?
About those keys.
Did you get them? Keys? Or at least lockpicks?
Yes, I have them.
In that case, come before midnight to the cloister garden. I'll be waiting for you there, and we'll head off.
This is not a good time for questions.
I'm a new brother, a novice, Gregor. I don't know my way around here yet. You're in charge of the whole monastery, aren't you?
Welcome amongst us. Yes, yes. The Lord wanted me to take over the abbot's duties in his absence, but mainly I'm a servant of God, just like you and all the other brethren. Before God, there's no difference between us. How do you like it here?
Don't know yet. Haven't been here long.
Well, you're too humble. I'm sure you must have some opinion, but I won't pry it out of you.
I've heard you keep records of all the novices.
Yes, I do. Personal records detailing their past lives which are none of your business. Just as it's no one else's business that you deflowered your liege lord's daughter.
Punishment due to murmurers, unless he amend and make satisfaction.
Talk to me, brother.
The rule of Saint Benedict.
I'm still curious about...
It's no big terrible secret. Really, it isn't. I just go and read during services. There's no time otherwise. I mean, at other times I don't...
I was mute and was humble and kept silence even from good.
What kind of a book is it?
Here the prophet shows that if the spirit
I found it here in the library. It was on a shelf where it should never have been. So I hid it to read later. It's the Necronomicon. Ghosts, demons, and invocations of powers beyond our world. Only it's written in a strange language that I can't really make sense of. All bara this and bara that. Who knows what it means? I tried to count the syllables, read the words backwards, but nothing. I'm not getting anywhere with it.
Oh. I'm not too sure what the prior or the cicada would say about a book like that. Actually, what anyone would say. It sounds quite prohibited.
Prejudice. But you're right, it is prohibited. For no good reason, though. Has knowledge ever done anybody any harm?
If it wasn't harmful, it wouldn't be forbidden.
That's a rather limited view of the world. Some write about the saints, others about demons. And an educated person should know both. Pity I can't understand a word it says. I've been trying for quite a while. Just please don't tell anyone about the book. If the brothers learn that I took it from the library and hid it, I'll be in a lot of trouble. Our brothers' minds are closed to a thirst for knowledge.
As soon as anything has been ordered by the superior, receive it as a divine command and cannot suffer any delay in executing it.
Actually, I don't care. God save.
God and pleasing to men only if what is commanded is done without hesitation. Delay.
In the middle of the night, I saw the brother cicadas drinking and playing dice.
How marvelous! Did you join in? And more importantly, can I join in next time?
Siskin? I thought it wasn't allowed.
If the cicadas can, we all can.
That's not how it works, though, is it?
I know. A double standard. The elder brothers can do as they please, but they're the ones preaching about morality to us.
Work as this, he will incur the punishment due to murmurers, unless he amend and make satisfaction. The rule of Saint Benedict. Readings on the abbot. Therefore, when anyone receives the name of abbot, he ought to govern his disciples with a twofold teaching. That is to say, he should show them all that is good and holy, by his
God salve
deeds
Domine.
more than by his word. To the faults of offenders, but since he has the authority, let him cut out those faults by the roots as soon as they begin to appear. Remembering the well disposed in those of good understanding, let him correct the verbal
Peace be with you, brother.
What is it, brother?
I'd like to ask...
Brother? What are you doing here?
I had other affairs.
Really?
About you in the election.
Ask me anything you want.
Thank you for answering.
What is it, brother?
I'm here to work.
What? Praise be to Christ.
I finished my work.
Show me what you've... What do you desire?
Is there any way I could help you get elected? Somehow tip the scales in your favour?
What would you like to do? Climb?
Not exactly.
John isn't my... but there is something you could help me with. You must...
That doesn't sound like...
Pity?
Contains forbidden books.
What do you desire?
I found it. Oh,
Not what, but who? I...
Good. Can you... Where...
If I...
I found a few pages of the torn-up book, but I still don't have them all.
Wonderful. Keep looking then. I'm sure you can find the rest.
I'm here to work.
Good. This is most likely the first time you've ever done this in your life. But it's easier than you think. Just a bit of practice and learning Latin. Here's the original, and here are the blank parchments on which you'll copy what you read in the original. Is that clear? Then you may begin, and try not to make a mess of it. No, no, no! I can't believe you've made so many mistakes.
The books still in there aren't for your eyes.
Don't even look at that cabinet. It contains forbidden books.
Brother, what are you doing here?
I definitely was there.
Really?
Until the calends of October. When they come out from prime in the morning, let them labor at whatever is necessary until about the 4th hour. And from the 4th hour until about the
What
6th,
would you like?
let them apply themselves to reading.
I'm looking for something a little, unorthodox.
And what would that be exactly?
Or if anyone may perhaps want to read, let him read to himself.
I'm looking for lockpicks.
Lock picks? And what would you like those for?
At the middle of the 8th hour, and let them again do what work has to be done until Vespers. Weak or sickly brethren should be assigned.
I'd like to practice opening locks, just for the fun of it.
Well, why not? So you heard I used to be a burglar, did you? I put it all behind me as soon as I took the vows. But I do have a few lockpicks left. I'll trade them for food. Get me a bite to eat, and you can have your lockpicks. Can't say fairer than that, can I?
Kept silence even from good things. Here the prophet shows that if the spirit of silence ought to lead us at times to refrain even from good speech, so much the more ought the punishment for sin make us avoid evil words. Therefore, since the spirit of silence is so important, permission to speak should rarely be granted even to perfect. Be silent and listen. For that reason, if anything has to be asked of the superior, it it should be asked with all the humility and submission inspired by reverence. But as for coarse jests and idle words, or words that move to laughter, these we condemn everywhere with a perpetual ban. And for such conversation we do not permit a disciple to open his mouth.
Novices
Brother,
have no
this isn't
business
the place
here.
for you.
Stop, Gregor. I'm telling you, someone's been hiding about in the corridor at night.
Peace be with you, brother.
I'm telling you, someone's door at night. What am I saying? Creeping. He was stomping about like a bear.
Now, that must have been Brother Sir.
Sorry. Be well.
Brother, you were somewhere you shouldn't have been. Don't you know your place? Don't you know...
I've had enough of this. You'll never put me in seclusion.
You dare resist punishment? Let me remind you, brother, you will suffer the consequences of your deeds.
Yes, brother. I'm resisting punishment. I've had it up to my neck with you, your monastery, and your bullshit. Do your damnedest.
You failed to complete your trial period as a novice. You are hereby banished from the order of Saint Benedict. Be gone at once. What would you like?
Be
Stop, Gregor.
By his deeds even more than by his words, expounding the Lord's commandments in words to the intelligent among his disciples, but demonstrating the divine precepts by his actions for those of harder hearts and ruder minds. The abbot should always remember what he is and what he is called, and should know that to whom more is committed,
I'm looking for some...
And what...
is required. Let him make no distinction of
I'm-
persons in the monastery. Let him not love one more than another, unless it be one. Him not shut his eyes to the faults of offenders, but
I'd like to discuss...
Well,
let him
we
cut
can...
out those faults by the roots as soon as they begin to appear.
Satisfied?
Remembering the
That's-
fate of Heli, the priest of Silo. The well-disposed and those of good understanding, let him correct with verbal admonition
Forget
the
it.
first and second time. But bold, hard,
Brother,
proud, and
what are you doing?
disciplined characters, he should curb at the very
I had a-
beginning of their ill-doing by stripes and other bodily punishments. Knowing that it is written, the fool... The rule of
Brother?
Saint Benedict.
Where were you during Mass? Don't tell me you didn't.
I definitely was there.
Really? I'll pretend nothing happened.
He should show them all that is good and holy, by his deeds even more than by his words, expounding the Lord's commandments in words. Authority, let him cut out those faults by the roots as soon as they begin to appear.
Brother,
Remembering the fate of Heli,
what are you doing?
priest of Silo, the well-disposed and those of good understanding.
I was feeling a bit queasy.
Really? I'll pretend nothing happened. But this is the last time, brother.
Proud and disobedient characters, he should curb at the very beginning of their ill-doing by stripes and other bodily punishments.
Praise. Praise be.
I'm here.
Talk to me, brother.
I finished my work.
Show me what you've... Spectacular.
Peace be with you, brother.
Praise be to our Lord Jesus.
What would you like?
I'm here.
Here. Praise be to...
Oh,
No. I...
good. Can you... Work...
If I...
Is...
Oh no, such a waste of parchment. How could you?
Brother? What are you doing here?
Come now, brother. Aren't we friends? You know very well that monks can't survive on prayer alone. Forgive me this once.
This time I'll look the other way. But
receive it as a divine command and cannot suffer any delay in executing it. But this
Talk to me, brother.
obedience will be acceptable to God and pleasing to men only if what is commanded. Not necessarily.
Let's have a word about the price.
In his heart, even though he fulfills the command, yet his work will not be acceptable to God.
What about this?
He sees that his heart is murmuring.
You won't convince me with that.
Gaining a reward for such work as this, he will incur the punishment due to murmurers, unless he amend and make satisfaction. The rule of Saint Benedict, readings on humility.
This is a waste of time.
The degree of humility is obedience without delay. This is the virtue of those who hold nothing dearer to them than Christ, who, because of the holy service they have professed, and the fear of hell, for if the disciple obeys with an ill will and murmurs, not necessarily with his lips, but simply in his heart, then even though
the lawlessness he brought to this land will have no peace till the afterlife.
You're interested in what's inside?
They keep the tastiest morsels.
Aha!
Can we do something about...
Well, we can...
What about this?
That's still... Finally, a reasonable sum.
These novices, I'd pull those idlers by the ears.
What troubles you? About...
Someone really reeked at Matins. You're right. It stunk like a wine barrel in there, and it's not the first time. It's a mystery, but one that will soon be solved. It's a wonder the prior doesn't check everyone's breath in the morning. Then he'd soon get his man. Praise be to our Lord Jesus.
What have they done to you this time, brother?
They're shirking their responsibilities, leaving us, their superiors, to chase around after them. Finishing what they do.
God be with
Someone's weeding in the garden.
Yet again. I've had
like a wine barrel in there, and it's not the first time.
It's a mystery.
What do we have here? A nice sharp dagger. Now what would a monk need that for?
It's a mystery, but one that'll be soon solved. It's a wonder the prior doesn't check everyone's breath in the morning. Then he'd soon get his man.
I'm telling you, someone's been creeping around in the corridor.
What troubles you?
Here I am.
Just in time to manage it all. Once we're outside, we'll need to be careful and we'll need to be quick. If we're not back before sunrise, someone will realize we've gone, and there'll be hell to pay.
Where exactly are we going for the wine?
Next to the monastery is the house of the custodian, a baron who provides military protection to the monastery. We'll take the wine from him.
Why go to all that trouble? Aren't the monastery wine cellars full?
They are, but Brother Celerius keeps records of all the casks, and the prior checks them. They'd investigate if any went missing. Whereas, if someone outside loses the odd cask, they're not going to suspect us monks.
That does sound reasonable. How do we do that once we're there? Will we need to break into the custodian's cellar?
We needn't break in anywhere. It's on the ground floor and usually unlocked. It holds supplies for the whole craftsman's yard, and every now and again, someone comes in to fetch something. The only thing we have to make sure is that nobody sees us.
What particular wine are the cicadas after?
They want some Znojmo wine. But there's no way we'll be able to tell what's what. We'll just grab a cask and head off. I doubt the custodian would have anything of poor quality in his cellar.
The brothers will complain.
They'll complain even more if they've nothing to drink at all.
I'm ready. We can head off.
All right. You have the outside keys, so get unlocking.
A monk's got no business out here. What happened?
Aren't you meant to be in the monastery, lad? Aren't you meant to be in the monastery?
What are you doing? Aren't you meant to be in the monastery, lad?
Ah, down the hatch.
Every gulp a treat, isn't that the truth?
No wonder. With our throats going dry all day.
Next time we'll get the Yolok to bring some Rhine wine. I'm losing my taste for this one.
Why doesn't Yodak drink with us, anyway?
He's young, and he wants to look good in front of the others. And he doesn't trust us to keep him safe from harm if he got too drunk to make it to prayer.
Gregor, talk to...
Salve. Be well. Be well. I've read one of the manuscripts copied by one of the novices. I think I'm going to cry.
It's that touching, is it?
Touching? More like infuriating. A horrible, abominable waste of parchment. The young people have no respect for writing these days.
But they'll learn. We were no different.
What have we here? That's it. The book with information about the novices.
What was that noise?
Interesting. But I still don't know which one of them is pious.
What the hell was that? What was that?
Oh, why are you waking me? Go away.
God be with you.
No. We're off. Let me sleep.
Oh, leave me be. I want to sleep.
Ah, Gregor.
I have all the pages of the torn-up book. The Art of Love can go back to the library.
Oh, brother, you can't even imagine how happy you've made me. Since you're clearly a true lover of books, I'll give you a reward I've never given another novice. I'll lend you the key to the cabinet containing forbidden books, and you can look at the peculiar things we've accumulated there. That cabinet's strictly off limits to novices, but you've earned my trust. I'm sure you'll recognize that those books contain nothing but dangerous gibberish, and there's a valuable lesson to be learned there.
Thank you, brother. I appreciate your trust. Is there anything I can do to help here?
I'm glad you asked. There's one thing, a silly thing, really. I haven't thought to mention it to anyone before, but not long ago, a brother brought me a crumpled piece of parchment. He says he found it rolled up in a hole in the wall. The thing is, it was a page from Ovid.
Ovid? What is that? Is it the name of a book?
Not what, but who. Ovid was a... Now I believe, if he'd had his way, all such...
What is it, brother?
I'm still curious.
It's no big, terrible secret. Really, it isn't.
What kind of a book is it?
I found it here. It's the
Oh.
Ah!
You're right.
Oh, I'm glad you agree. Just take a look at the book. Just please don't tell anyone about the book.
I'll leave you be.
Thank you.
Will you tell me something about yourself?
Look, nothing against you, but I prefer...
Are you hiding something? Why are you so
I'm hiding a lousy part. I hate to think... I was I've no...
What about the dagger?
That's a memento of better times. Father gave me that when I was a little lad. And it's done right by me more than once, when I got drunk somewhere with the wrong sort of people.
Do you know how to fight?
And how? Boozing and brawling. God, how I miss that here.
That's all I wanted to know.
Please, keep...
What would you like?
I've read the abbot's book. It says in there that you're not as saintly as you make out. Actually, it seems like you're as lecherous as a boring rut.
You broke into the abbot's quarters to spy on me? You won't get away with it.
I wasn't interested in your opinion about what I did. What interests me is you and what the book has to say about you.
I'm not going to tell you anything. I'm going to report you.
Just try it, and I'll smack you so hard your feet won't touch the ground.
No, don't hit me. I won't say anything to anyone, I promise.
Listen, there's something I ought to tell you. There's a dangerous criminal hiding in the monastery, and I came here to look for him.
Ha! I knew it. He's a villain. Who are you, though? Oh, it's better not to ask, isn't it? It's always safer not to ask.
Never mind that. Who's a villain?
That's Siskin. I always thought he was an odd one, the way he carries on. But now it makes perfect sense. He's a criminal fleeing justice.
You mean his not going to morning prayers?
So you noticed that too?
You've got the wrong end of the stick. That has nothing to do with anything.
You think so? He definitely acts like a criminal. Who else would it be?
That's what I'm trying to find out.
What are you going to do to that fellow once you find him?
I don't know yet.
You should talk to the Circators or the Prior about it, not act on your own.
Can you tell me something?
I would if there was anything noteworthy to say.
Why did you join the mod?
Because it was better than living in poverty. And you know what?
Praise be to Christ, brother.
I found a dagger in your stash.
And why shouldn't you have? I did hide it there after all. Do you often go through other people's belongings?
Well then, I have a question for you. I think you know what it is. What does a monk need a dagger for?
That dagger's the only thing I have left of my father. It was in our old shop, under the counter. Father kept it there to protect himself from thieves. When I was little, I admired that dagger so much. I asked Father if he'd give it to me when I was older. He always said yes, but only after he was dead.
Go on, please.
Now Father's dead and I'm here. That piece of steel is the only thing I have left from the outside world. I know it's not suitable for a monk, but I can't part with it. So now you know everything. Are you satisfied?
I need to make a confession.
I'm no priest, but tell me what you've done. It's probably nothing to worry about.
I'm here in the monastery looking for a thief. He had a hand in burning down the Neuhof stud.
You don't say. And who are you to take such an interest?
Someone whose job it is to investigate the case, find the perpetrators and make sure they get the punishment they deserve.
Punishment? Do you intend to punish them here, in the monastery?
I don't know yet. I'm still just on their trail. Perhaps you could help me find him?
The missing thief? If I knew anything, I'd tell you, but I suppose it must be one of the novices. I've only recently heard about the Neuhof incident, and all the other brethren have been here much longer than that.
I know. Aside from me, there are only 4 novices, but still, I don't know which one he could be.
3? Please, leave me out of it. And you're right that it could be any one of them. No one knows anything about Lukas. Siskin might be a lot of things, but a monk isn't one of them. And Yodok is a slimy worm. It wouldn't surprise me if he was behind that massacre. Actually, the more I think about it, the less I like that Yodok. He's a treacherous rat who'd do anything to get in someone's good books. The thought of Yodok at Neuhof sends chills up my spine.
Maybe you're right. It's not a pretty thought. Thanks for your help, and please don't say a word to anyone.
Don't fret, my friend. Your secrets are locked inside my lips.
That is to say, he should show them all that is good and holy, by his deeds even more than by his words.
Talk to me, brother.
The Lord's commandments in words to the intelligent among
I've
his
discovered
disciples,
something about the wrongs
but
being committed here.
demonstrating the divine
I
precepts
see.
by his actions
Tell me
for
more.
those of harder hearts and ruder minds. The abbot should always remember what he is and
The
what he is
cicadas
called,
go into the cellar
and
at
should
night
know
to
that
drink
to
wine.
whom more
I
is
thought
committed.
so.
From
John
him
always reeks
more
of
is
it.
required.
And he
Let
wants
him
to be
make
abbot.
No distinction of
Hypocrite.
persons in the monastery.
Perhaps if you
Let
told
him
the
not love
prior,
one
that would
more
clip
than another,
John's wings.
unless it be one whom he finds better in good works or in obedience. And let him not shut his eyes to the faults of offenders, but, since he has the
Brother
authority,
Yodok has
let
been
him cut
stealing
out
wine for
those
the
faults
cicadas
by
so
the
they can
roots
drink.
as soon
Yodok?
as they begin to appear.
Well, that little rat's shown his true
Remembering the
colours.
fate of Heli,
Do you know where
priest
he's stealing
of
it from?
From the cellar of a
well-disposed and those
low-ranking
good
vassal
understanding,
outside the
let him
monastery
correct
walls.
with verbal
Clever.
admonition the first
The
and second
custodian
time.
would never suspect anyone in the
bold,
monastery.
hard,
And no one here would
proud and
suspect monks were
disobedient
drinking
characters.
secretly when no
They should
wine's
curb
missing.
at the very beginning
Thank you,
of
brother.
their ill-doing by
Could you please
stripes
inform the
and
prior?
other bodily
If I were to do it, they'd
Knowing
cry
that it
false
is written,
accusations.
the fool is not corrected
Brother
with words.
Siskin is hiding treasure
And
he
again,
owned before he became a
beat
monk.
your son with the
It doesn't
rod,
surprise
and
me.
you will deliver his soul
It's not the
from
first
death.
time that's happened, and it won't be the last.
The rule of Saint
I
Benedict.
wouldn't punish him, but you can
Readings on
talk
the
to him
abbot.
about it.
Therefore, when
Perhaps
anyone
God will
receives
guide
the
him,
name of abbot,
and he'll gladly give
he
up
ought
his
to
mammon.
govern his disciples
That's all
with
I
a
know.
twofold teaching.
If you find out
That is
anything
to
else,
say,
come to me.
He should show them all
I'd
that
be
is
interested
good
to hear
and
it.
holy, by his deeds even more than by his words, expounding the Lord's commandments in words to the intelligent among his disciples, but demonstrating the divine precepts by his actions for those of harder hearts and ruder minds. And ruder minds. The abbot should always remember what he is and what he is called, and should know that to whom more is committed, from him more is required. Let him make no distinction of persons in the monastery. Let him not love one more
In the
than another,
night, I overheard the
unless it be
cicadas
one
in the
whom
cellar.
he finds better
They were
in
talking
good
about
works
you.
or in
Oh
obedience.
no.
And let
So it's
him
still not
shut
over.
his eyes
This
to the
isn't a
faults
life
of
in service
offenders,
of God. This is
but, since
purgatory.
he has the
Lucas, what's going
authority, let
on?
him cut out those faults
What
by
do you
the
think?
roots, as
Just
soon
like you,
as
I
they
saw the
begin.
cicadas drinking and playing hazard as if they were in a brothel.
Remembering the fate of Heli, the priest of Siloam. The well-disposed and those of good understanding.
We should
let him
report them.
correct with verbal admonition the
I
first
agree.
and second time. But bold,
I warned them if
hard,
they didn't stop,
proud,
I'd go and tell the
disobedient
prior.
characters,
But instead of mending their ways, they vented their anger on me.
stripes, and
You've
other
picked the wrong people to make enemies of,
Knowing that
Lucas,
it is
they
written,
told me.
the fool
Now I
is
can't
not
even
corrected
count how
with
many
words.
days and nights I've spent locked up in solitary confinement for the tiniest offences, or for no offence at all.
The rule of Saint Benedict. Readings on daily manual labor.
Is there something I can do to help?
Enemy of the soul.
Would you?
Therefore, the brethren should be occupied.
I think all it might take is for you to go and sit down with them. Have a talk, set things straight, then they'd leave me alone.
Times for each may be prescribed.
But I'm afraid even this path leads nowhere.
Easter,
They'd probably start hounding you as well.
when they come out from prime in the morning, let them
I'm not
read
afraid of them.
whatever is necessary.
Brother, you have the courage I lack.
From the fourth
May the
hour
grace of
until
God
the
be upon you.
Let them apply themselves to reading. After the sixth hour, having left the table, let them rest.
There's
on
something
their
I should
bed
tell
in
you.
perfect silence,
Something
or
secret.
anyone may perhaps want to
I'm looking for someone here in the monastery.
in such a way as
You're
not to
looking for
disturb
someone?
anyone else.
But you're a novice, aren't you?
I am a novice. At least until I find the man I'm looking for.
And let them again
Why would you be looking amongst monks? You know, the laws of man aren't valid here. In the cloister, we're subject to divine law, the law of the church.
I'm looking for a footpad who's hiding out here in the monastery. He had a hand in raising the Neuhoff farm. He's taken many lives.
I heard something about that. But why are you telling me all this?
Because you could help me. It has to be one of the other novices.
That can't be.
This is the virtue
Have
of
you
those
told the
who
prior?
have nothing dear
What are you going to do to this man once you find him?
because of the holy service they have professed, and the fear
Talk
of
to him.
hell, and the glory
Then
of
I'll
life
see.
everlasting.
Do you have any idea which of the novices could be the impostor I'm looking for?
Receive it as a
I
divine
don't know, and I don't care to know. I wish you'd never told me. Now I won't be able to sleep at night.
will be acceptable to God and pleasing to men. men only if what is commanded.
I've heard that you, well, that you enjoy the company of men. Is there any truth to it?
What? How do you know that?
I read it in the abbot's book.
What? The abbot's book is locked up in his chambers, and he'd never allow anyone to read it. Did you break in? But why? Just so you could dig something up on me?
I was looking for something else, but I just happened to come across your story.
No matter what you were looking for, you crossed a line that shouldn't be crossed. But don't worry, I won't tell on you if you promise me the same. Yes, you can call me a sodomite, a sinner, a monster, the spawn of Satan. But tell me this, Gregor. Can I help the way I am? I tell you, it's a test of my faith. A test so daunting you can't even imagine it.
Times in manual labor, and again at fixed hours in sacred reading. To that end, we think
You're right.
that times for each may be
I found it interesting, but I'm not judging you. You are the way you are. You should be true to yourself.
I'm glad you aren't like the others. Thank you for not passing judgment. I swear to God, I've never lain with another man. I've never sinned. When my father wanted me to find a wife and start a family, I told him the truth, and he had me sent here. And in a way, I was glad. My guilt had been consuming me, and I knew in the monastery I'd find peace. The Lord sees my soul, and He knows it's pure.
Will you tell me something?
I
mean, where you're from? What sort of...
I'm a novice, and my...
You see, I'm looking for someone here.
You're looking for someone?
I am a novice. At least...
What?
I'm looking... Talk to... Do you... I'd like to know something...
I don't know.
Do you know anything about Yodok?
I don't. He doesn't like me, and he's on very friendly terms with the Circators. That's about it.
Are you joking?
Why should I?
I'd have thought you might want to know who you're...
Don't get upset.
So much the more of the punishment for sin make us avoid evil words. Therefore, since the spirit of
Praise be
silence
to
is
Christ.
so important, permission to speak should rarely be granted even to perfect disciples, even though...
Gregor.
Brother Circator, my friend.
What would you like? To be relieved from duties?
No, I'm here because of Novice Lucas. I've heard there's some discord with him.
Only because that weasel wants to put an end to our nighttime fun. So we're letting him know who's in charge here.
I'd appreciate it if you treat him like a brother again.
If he isn't afraid of us, there's nothing to stop him ratting us out. But what do you care, anyway? Grown fond of him, have you?
He hates you because you trample all over him and he has nothing to lose. If you show him just a bit of kindness, he'll think again about taking you on. You'll see.
Fine. You've convinced me. You can tell him things have been straightened out. But he'd better be on his best behavior from now on. Beware of Lucas. He might corrupt you.
What do you mean?
He's a sodomite, a sinner. He might try to get you into the habit, or out of it.
Let them rest on their beds in perfect silence, or if anyone may
I didn't know that. Thanks for the warning.
In such a way as not to disturb anyone else. Let none be said rather early at the middle of the 8th hour.
I spoke to the Circators about how they've been treating you.
Really? Did you manage to convince them to leave me alone?
But you have to promise not to tell anyone what you saw them doing. Then they'll leave you alone.
That's a promise I'd be glad to make. I'm forever in your debt, brother. Because now I know I can trust you, there's something I want to tell you. It's about Brother Antonius. I wouldn't like to say something that isn't true. God forbid I should cause harm by my words, but this is something I'm sure of. Novice Antonius is lying to us.
What makes you say that?
He claims he's a merchant's son from Vlashim, and that he joined the order voluntarily. The thing is, I spent a great deal of time in Vlashim. I know it like the back of my hand, and no one even remotely like Antonius has ever lived there.
Are you sure? Because this could mean that...
It's true, or Canute isn't my name. That would be my secular name, by the way, but that's not important. I know Vlashim, and I know the local merchants there, and I've never seen Antonius among them. Why would he be lying if he had nothing to hide?
Thank you for telling me. I'll look into it.
The rule of Saint Benedict. Readings on humility. The first degree of humility is obedience without delay. This is the virtue of those who hold nothing dearer to them than Christ,
What is it, brother?
who, because of the holy service they have professed, and
I've heard you're from Vlashim.
Be well.
Yes, why do you ask? And more importantly, where did you hear it? Since I'm quite sure I've never told you. Honestly, the monks like to gossip more than old wives at the market.
This very obedience will be acceptable to God and pleasing to men only if what is commanded is done without hesitation.
Because I've heard otherwise. You aren't from Vlashim. You made it all up.
And who told you that? Whoever it was, he's a liar. It's complete nonsense.
I've heard you're from Vlashim.
Yes, why do you...
I've read the abbot's book. It's got everything he knows about the novices.
Why? Why would you do that?
That doesn't matter. What matters is the abbot doesn't believe your little fairy tale either.
What's so implausible about it? I've always been more interested in books. So I left my brother the shop and came here to live a good life.
You see, I'm looking for someone in the monastery. Someone who's lied about who he is. And you fit that description perfectly.
But I told you, I've never lied to anyone.
That's funny. I think you're lying to me right now.
Do you think you're entitled to met out justice? Who gave you the right? I'm sorry, but I don't want to have anything more to do with you, Gregor. You're a lunatic, and the prior ought to be warned about you.
And from the 4th hour until about the 6th, let them apply themselves to reading. After the 6th hour, having...
Please don't tell him anything. It will put my whole mission in jeopardy. And believe me, my cause is just.
Very well, I won't say a word. But you should think twice about what you have in mind.
Let none ere be said rather early, at the middle of the 8th hour, and let them again do what work has to be done until Vespers. Weak or sickly brethren should be assigned a task or craft of such a nature as to keep them from idleness, and at the same time not to overburden them or drive them away with excessive toil. Their weakness must be taken into consideration by the abbot. The rule of Saint Benedict. Readings on humility. The first degree of humility is obedience without delay. This is the virtue of those who hold nothing dearer to them than Christ, because of the holy service they have professed, and the fear of life. As anything has been ordered by the superior, receive... will and murmurs, not necessarily with his lips, but simply in his heart. And even though...
Praise be to Christ.
Is there any way I could...
What would you like to...
Not exactly.
John isn't my opponent, but there is something you could help me.
That doesn't sound like...
Pity?
I've discovered...
I see.
The older brothers are picking on novice Lucas, punishing him when he doesn't deserve it and humiliating him.
It seems that now even brothers can't avoid worldly evil. Thank you for the information, and if you can, stand up for him. The older brothers are also out to get me. Any action I take, they'll try to use against me.
That's all I know.
If you find out anything else, come to me. I'd be interested to hear it.
I'm here to work.
Excellent. I've been waiting for you. I want you to prepare 2 marigold decoctions. Once you finish them, you'll find me somewhere nearby. What would you like?
I finished my work.
Show me what you've made. Spectacular, Gregor. Praise be to our Lord Jesus.
What would you like?
I'm here to work.
Excellent.
You call that a copy? You've completely ruined the parchment with your scribbling.
Not now, brother.
I'm a new brother, a novice, Gregor.
Welcome amongst... How do you like it here?
I don't know. Will you tell me something about how the abbot is elected?
Of course. Abbot Peter is old, and we're afraid he'll soon be with our Heavenly Father. When he's gone, someone else will have to lead the monastery. All the elder brothers will assemble to choose who that is.
Anyone can become the abbot?
Precisely. We have two candidates, Nevlas and John. As the spiritual shepherd of all of the brothers here, I'm not allowed to publicly express a preference for either. And as a novice, you shouldn't be involved in the election. I know that some brothers have already begun scheming, but don't even think about getting mixed up in it. With the blessing of the Holy Spirit, all will end up as it should be.
I'd like to ask you something about the monastery.
I found these stashed in the monastery, so I'm handing them over.
A dagger? Why would anyone here be hiding a dagger? Thank you, brother. I'll put it away safely in the kitchen before someone gets hurt.
That's everything.
Do you know who might have been hiding it?
I think it might belong to novice Siskin.
Siskin, you say? I'll check. What troubles you?
And let him not shut his eyes to the faults of offenders, but since he has the authority, let him cut out those faults by the roots as soon as they begin to appear. Remembering the fate of Heli, the priest of Silo, the well-disposed and those of good understanding, let him correct with verbal admonition the first and second time. But
What is it, brother?
hard, proud, and disobedient characters, he should curb at the very beginning of their ill-doing by stripes and other bodily punishments, knowing that it is written, the fool is not corrected with words. And again, beat your son with the rod, and you will deliver his soul from death.
What?
The rule of Saint
I've just...
Benedict.
That's all I know.
If you find out anything else, come to me.
When anyone receives
Is there any way I...
What would you like to...
govern his disciples
That
with a
doesn't...
twofold teaching. That is to say, words, expounding the Lord's commandments in words to the intelligent among his disciples, but demonstrating the divine precepts by his actions for those of harder hearts and ruder minds. The abbot should always remember what he is and what he is called, and should know that to whom more is... Cut out those faults by the roots as soon as they begin to appear. Remembering the priest of Siloam, the well-disposed and those of good understanding, let him correct with verbal admonition the first and second time. But bold, hard, proud,
Brother, what are you doing here?
You're right, brother.
This is your first warning.
You've got a strong constitution. Anyone else would have certainly died.
What happened?
Let me tell you a little story. Once upon a time, there was a young boy. He was lost and miserable. He had no future. He was tempted by his friends into doing some foolish things, but he wasn't truly bad, because when it came down to it, he ran away rather than keep doing foolish deeds. His former friends didn't take kindly to that, though, and wanted to punish him. So they sent a hunting dog to find him and rip his throat. The boy wasn't stupid, though, and he knew that the hound was coming. He poisoned some food, and when the hound showed up, he gave it to him. He didn't expect the beast to live, but it did. And all of a sudden, the boy was sorry for what he tried to do. So he offered to make a bargain with the hound.
I think I understand you. But the beast would need to know what deal he's being offered.
You know, we're both pawns in someone else's game. They have plans for us, but we don't have to let them use us. We can just forget all about it and go our own way. I was a bandit, and I was at Nyhoff. I've robbed and stolen, but I swear to God I've never in my life slain innocent people. What I saw at Nyhoff made me realize my life was worth shit, but I still had a chance to change for the better. Here in the monastery I've had plenty of time to think things over, but then you showed up and fucked it all up.
So the evildoer changes his ways and finds God. What exactly are you proposing?
Both of us can leave this place. You can go back to your people, and I can go somewhere where I can live out my life in peace and no one will try to kill me. If we work together, we can both get what we want.
What if I wanted a different option?
You could kill another novice, I suppose. If news of the murder got out from the monastery, my former friends might believe I'm dead. But I'm offering you a solution that doesn't require any killing. Before we make a run for it, we'll make it look like someone's killed me. Loads of blood, a tattered scrap of my habit, and footprints leading towards the river. No one will bother looking for my body there. There we'll split up. You go for your bounty, and I'll get as far away from here as I can.
Good. Let's do it your way.
Good. I'm glad that despite our initial discord, we could reach an agreement. Here, take something to calm your stomach. Now we'll need the keys to the monastery and some blood to make the tracks.
What are you going to do?
I need to get ready for a long journey. Prepare supplies, get some normal clothing somehow, that sort of thing. You can escape in that habit, but I need to vanish as fast as I can.
What do I need the keys to the monastery for?
How else will we get out? This place is practically a prison.
Do you mean these keys?
What?
I'm not going to ask you how you got your hands on those, you devious lad.
And where am I supposed to get my hands on blood in a monastery?
You'll find a parchment in the kitchen with a list of ingredients on it. All the things they're ordering. Add blood for making soup to the list. And when it's delivered the next day, take it before anyone notices it's even come.
All right, that's everything I need to know. I can get started.
Excellent. Come and see me once you have everything. And try to be as fast as you can. And Gregor, thank you.
Petals. Novices have no business here.
Brother? You were somewhere you...
Very well, brother.
Now, show me what you have on you.
Nonsense, it's perfectly drink.
Novices have no business here.
Novices aren't allowed here.
You treacherous rat! You betrayed me! Keep out of my sight from now on!
What troubles you?
Stop, Gregor.
I have everything we need for the escape.
Excellent. Straight after Vespers, we'll meet in the dormitory. We'll have to get it all done before the monks have finished dinner.
What exactly is your plan? And why can't we do it at night?
We're going to prepare a little riddle they'll never solve. And why at mealtime? Because we need the dormitory as well as the church to be empty. Then at night we'll escape. Do you follow? Take everything with you and don't forget the keys.
Good. Once evening mass ends, I'll be in the dormitory.
Brother, you were somewhere you...
I've had an...
You dare...
Yes.
You've...
The rule of Saint Benedict.
Praise be to...
Readings on humility.
I know you are pious. The man I've been looking for.
So you're finally sure?
Peace be with you, brother.
Tell me, Gregor, or Carl, or whatever your true name is. What do you want to do now?
I don't know. I'm not sure what I should do.
Well, at least you're prepared to think and not just play bloodhound for a pack of nobodies. And I'm glad you have your doubts.
I don't want to be like the people I'm looking for. If I have to kill, it should be for a reason, not because I enjoy it.
You know, we're both pawns in someone else's... I was a bandit.
So the evil...
Both?
You deserve to die.
I'm sorry to hear that. I thought we could come to an agreement.
Then even though he fulfills the command, yet...
Brother, this isn't a place for you.
Not now, brother.
Brother, you were
Very well, brother.
Saint Benedict. Readings on the abbot. Therefore, he is and what he is called, and should know that to whom more is committed, from him more is required. Let him make no distinction of persons in the monastery. Let him not love one more than another.
I have everything we need.
unless it be one
Excellent.
whom he finds
Straight after Vespers, we'll meet in...
What exactly is your...
Take
And
good...
let him not shut his eyes to the faults of offenders, but, since he has the authority,
Brother,
let him cut out
you were
those
some way...
faults by the roots as soon as they begin to appear. Remembering the fate of Heli, the priest of... Idleness is the enemy of the soul. Therefore, the brethren should be occupied a certain time. As follows. From Easter until the calends of October. Labor
Brother?
whatever is necessary until about the 4th hour.
Very well, brother.
4th hour until about...
What do you desire? Take good.
Having left the table, let them rest on their beds in perfect silence.
What?
What?
I'm here to...
Excellent. I want you to prepare 2 marriage...
Their weakness must be taken into consideration by the abbot.
Praise...
What's trouble?
I'm here to...
Can you read at all? I've never seen so many mistakes.
Can't you see we...
Speech. So much the more ought the punishment for sin make us avoid evil words. Then for it is written, in much speaking you will not escape sin. And in another place, death and life are in the power of the tongue.
Praise be to God! For a moment there I was worried you weren't coming. Give me that blood. This is the exact spot where you pushed me off the gallery. And here's where you dragged my lifeless body. Thank you for helping me out. Now we must each go our own way.
Well, I can't just let you leave. You're a criminal.
What are you on about? Did you really help me escape just to portray me?
I'm truly sorry, but you were there at the Neuhoff massacre, and you're a valuable witness. I'm taking you to the bailiff.
Gregor, you can't be serious. I thought I won't be taken anywhere. I'd rather die than lose my freedom.
And now we're off to the bailiff. This is one of the men who raised Neuhoff. He should be able to tell you something useful. But I need to ask a favour. I need you to keep him out of sight so his accomplices don't know he's been caught.
Fine work, and I'll do as you say. I'll find a deep, dark hiding place where no one will hear me interrogate him. And while we're at it, I'll have your things brought here. Wait here a while. Aren't you meant... Huh. Damn!
Good health to you.
Good luck, then.
Onions that'll even
With
make
salt,
your man cry
caraway
like a
seeds,
little lass.
garlic and
Come
more.
And buy some. You look worn out.
Woman. I don't understand these things. What do you reckon? Did that battle in Pribyslavitz put an end to the trouble?
Look up now, what are you saying?
All the raiding and looting, I mean.
I mean you, a stupid woman.
Oh, now.
That's the daftest thing I've heard today. But I think that's to wipe the floor with a miller.
Ah, that was easy. He was talking utter nonsense.
Everybody believed him, though, until you put him in his place.
Even you?
Well, look, you're
not a stupid woman, and I'm not the brightest star in the sky.
That's a clever way of putting it. Will you come tomorrow? I have a new song from the peddler. We can give it a go.
I'll be there.
What are you doing here? Get lost, or you'll have